It was late at night, and Mark had just fallen asleep in his bed. Suddenly, he was jolted awake by a feeling of unease. As he opened his eyes, he saw a dark figure standing at the foot of his bed. It was a man, but his features were obscured by the shadows. Mark tried to move or scream, but he found that he couldn't. He was completely paralyzed with fear, unable to do anything but watch as the Shadow Man began to move closer and closer. As the Shadow Man got closer, Mark could feel his breath on his face. He could smell the stench of death emanating from him, and his eyes seemed to glow with an otherworldly light. Mark closed his eyes and tried to will himself awake from this nightmare, but when he opened them again, the Shadow Man was still there, looming over him. Suddenly, the Shadow Man began to speak. His voice was deep and raspy, and it seemed to come from all around the room. "Hello, Mark," he said. "I've been waiting for you." Mark tried to speak, but no words came out of his mouth. He was trapped, unable to escape the Shadow Man's grip. "You can't run from me, Mark," the Shadow Man continued. "I am always with you. You just don't see me." Mark realized with a sickening feeling that the Shadow Man was right. He had always felt a sense of unease, a sense that he was being watched. Now he knew that the Shadow Man had been with him all along. As the Shadow Man moved even closer, Mark felt himself slipping away. He knew that he was about to be consumed by the darkness, and there was nothing he could do to stop it. And then, suddenly, he woke up. It had all been a dream, a nightmare that felt all too real. But as he sat up in his bed, Mark knew that he would never forget the Shadow Man, the demon that had been lurking in the darkness all along.